Hey, everybody. What's going on, y'all? I'm so glad to see you guys. And I'm so glad to have this conversation with my lovely cousin, Valerie. Well, I call her Valerie L because I didn't know that your name was hyphenated. I'm so excited to have our conversation today. And it's going to be fun. So, let me introduce myself to you guys. I am Ashley J. I am a relationship coach and date coach, and I'm also a therapist. And let's see, what else do y'all need to know about me? I have this wonderful show that I host every week on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's called The Love Experience Show, which you are viewing right now. And I feel like a lot of people get a lot of value from this show. And I love the fact that it's catching on. Everybody loves it. So before we get started, I want you guys to make sure you like, share, subscribe, and do a watch party on Facebook. And let's see, go to the website. I told you guys this last week. I'm going to tell you again. Go to my website. It's ashleyj.com and cop your show gear. There's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of love experience designs and bags, shirts, mugs, all of that. I got it for you guys. Okay. So go now and buy it for next week. Okay. All right. And also, we have coming up in October 8th through the 10th, we have the in for Love couples getaway that's going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm so excited about it. I can't wait for you guys that are couples. It's a couples getaway. Can't wait for you guys that are couples to join me and my husband here in Atlanta for this great getaway. Okay, so let's get the show started. This, as I said, this is my cousin Valerie. I call her cousin Valerie. And, you know, cousin Valerie is one of those cousins that's really fun. I like having fun with cousin Valerie. I like when we get together for the family reunions. It's great. So, cousin Valerie, you want to tell the people who you are?
Hi, everyone. Ashley said, I am cousin Valerie. I am a wife, a mom of 3, and a grandmother of 2.5. When I say 2.5, my daughter is currently pregnant. So that's why I am retired from 26 years as a substance abuse counselor in New York. I loved my job, but it was time to go. So I'm just a stay-at-home mom, doing a little crafting, doing a little stuff here and there, but trying to stay as busy as I can.
All right, y'all heard her. I'm not gonna say go out there and support her because she ain't on the books yet, so we're not gonna say that.
Yeah, give me another month. I'll have LLC ready.
But so the title of the show is She's Got a Story to Tell. So let's hear your story.
Well, as I said to Ashley before, that every love story doesn't necessarily have to start out as a love story. And the reason I say that because I didn't like my husband. I did not like him. I'm being honest. I knew him when I was 13, and he would stay in the building where I grew up with his cousin, who had 7 boys. So, right, that's why I didn't like him, because they were all obnoxious. I didn't want to have anything to do with them, and one of them was actually in my class. So I knew them quite well. And I was like, oh, he's cute, but no, I'm not trying to be a part of that. No. So I really didn't I saw him, but I didn't really see him. So, we would see each other from time to time going in and out the building. And I think when we were like maybe 18, he had the nerve. He tells me now that it was a dare that some of his friends dared him to come knock on the door because he was about to go to the service to say something to me to see what I would say. So again, keep in mind, I said I really didn't care for him at first. So he knocked on the door to tell me, oh, you know, I'm leaving Monday to go in the service. And I said, and? He was like, oh, I just thought I would come and say goodbye. And I was like, okay, great, good luck. And I closed the door. And that was it. So life went on. And, you know, I was married previously, so that didn't work out. So I had ran into him years later, because he had also gotten married. And this is maybe more than 20 years. We hadn't seen each other.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, we were walking down the street. He was coming one way and I was coming the other. And it was like everybody just parted. In our minds, that's what we saw. And all we saw was each other. So he was like, wow, hey, how you doing? I was like, how you doing? So we, you know, started talking. And he was like, oh, you know, I heard you got married. And he had this like sad face. He was like, I heard you got married. And I was like, yeah, you know, but that didn't work out. You know, I'm divorced. I'm single now. And he was like, oh, well, I got divorced too. And I was like, oh, okay. So he was like, oh, you know, can I take you out? I'm still hesitant. I'm like, I don't know. Let me think about it. But I gave him my number and he called me and we went out a few times and I still was not convinced that
Even after going out a few times.
I still wasn't convinced. And then I told him, you know, I'm still seeing other people. I'm not sure. And I tell you, this is when I said, oh, two things happened that I said, maybe he's the one for me. He actually sat down and wrote a 2-page letter to me expressing his feeling and confessing his love for me and everything. And I felt that that was, you know, now in this day and time, who sits and writes a letter? But he really wanted me, I guess, that bad that he wanted to make sure I knew. And it's so funny. I think I found that letter maybe a month ago and we sat and we laughed at it. I wish I would have realized I could have bought it, but then you might have said, wait. So that was one that I said, maybe. But the real kicker for me was when we had gone to church. I asked him, would he come with me to church? And he said, oh, sure, I'll go with you to church. You know, most men, you know, hood rats, as I called him at that time, you know, wouldn't want to go to church.
I'll catch you when you come home.
Right. And he was like, oh, I'll go with you to church. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And when we sat in church, and this is no lie, my leg kind of opened and I touched his leg. And while in church, I had felt this like electric charge. It was the weirdest thing, but I said to myself, but God, this must be God telling me, okay, you need to stop playing around. This man is here. He wants you. He loves you. And I'm like, okay. And I got home and I thought about it. And I went, it was so funny because I was living by myself. Well, myself and my son, we were living. And I had only given him, he would come by to visit, and I had only given him the key to the bottom lock. So when he came over the next time, I had both keys for him. And I said, you can come over and you could stay. So we actually stayed, we lived together for a number of years. And I suspected my last son. And we just sat around, we watching TV one day and he said, we should get married. And I said, oh yeah, we should. I said, we should. And then we both sat, well, what's a good date? What's a good date? We got married February 14th.
Oh.
And I said, you will never forget that anniversary.
Not ever.
A little bit fast where we were having the wedding and we still were like, okay, it was no big deal for us. We, you know, at this point I had grown to love him and he had loved me. And we were like, let's go to Justice of the Peace. You know, we don't need, we've done the big wedding. We don't need all that. And when my coworkers at the time found out, they were like, no, y'all going in the church. And I don't care if it's just us, you're going to have a ceremony. So
Oh,
after
wow.
I was like, okay, they made me a bouquet. They had got me a white suit, and he had a suit. And I never forget, Daddy was in jeans walking me down the aisle because we were not planning on having anything big. And we went, we got married, and 18 years later, we're still together.
Wow.
So that,
Okay.
like I said, it wasn't initially a love story, but it has grown into this wonderful love story that it is today.
Okay. So first, we need to tell the people what your husband's name is because you
Oh,
didn't say it the whole time.
well, there he is. He couldn't join us because when he's working, and you see him back there. His name is Reggie.
Okay, so and y'all just as much fun cousin Valerie is,
Yeah.
cousin Reggie is that much fun too. I think maybe a little bit
More so.
more.
Yeah,
Like
more so.
he has just a fun personality.
Yes, he's a little more over the top on certain things than I am. But he definitely loves to entertain, and that's something else I had to learn to adjust to in our relationship. Me being an only child, I was not used to having a lot of people over all the time. When we moved into the home, we had company all the time, and I had to sit back and reflect and be like, wait a minute. That's because he came from a household where he was living with 7 brothers. Well, they weren't brothers, but they lived like brothers. And he was used to the in and out of everybody just being around. So I had to adjust, and we came to an agreement that, it wouldn't be every weekend, but you could try to have somebody once a month. Stuff like that.
Okay.
So in relationships, we have to compromise. I'm sorry, I meant to turn this off. We have to sometimes compromise on certain things, and that was no big deal for me. So we worked it out.
Okay, so I heard a few things going on in your story.
Okay.
First, you guys ended up having a blended family.
Yes. Well, except for Reggie, because he didn't have any children.
Okay.
When we met, he had no children, but was really into children because he took to Brandy and Todd like they were his own, always doing for them and stuff, and acting as if they both had their own fathers, but he definitely acted as if they were his children and stuff. So when Corey came about, oh my God, that's why Corey's so spoiled to this day, is because technically he is Reggie's only child, and he spoils him rotten.
So, well, it doesn't sound like it was difficult for you guys to come together and for him to get acclimated with the family you already had.
No,
it seemed like you guys did pretty good.
Well, what actually helped is because, like I said, we grew up in the same building. So it's like we knew of each other's families already. So like his aunt, God bless her dead, she said, Reggie, I always knew you like that girl. I saw how you looked at that girl and stuff. So, and his cousins, they all used to say that, oh, we knew this was inevitable because we used to see how he looked at you when you were growing up and stuff. So so it's not hard because I knew all of them already. And he knew all of my family from coming in and out of buildings.
Okay. And when it came to well, he didn't have to have any ties with his ex-wife since they didn't have any children. No. But was there any difficulties with your children's fathers, or was everybody cool?
No, yeah, unfortunately I do have 3 children's fathers. So it happens, life happens. But yes, no, he gets along. They've actually all been here. Okay. There have been occasions where we've had barbecues and like when my son got married, baby shower, that they were here. So we all get along fine.
That's good, because that's not everybody's testimony.
No, I mean, I think we're at a point in our life, the stress, everybody just needs to get along and stuff. All that, rah, rah, rah. No. So I'm blessed in that sense. I'm definitely blessed in that sense.
That's good. So, did you ever think back and say, wow, what was wrong with me? Not looking at him. Because, I mean, essentially, it's like your eyes were closed to him. And
Right.
then all of a sudden, they popped open.
Yeah, they did, because I look back at the person who I was dating right before him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, had I stayed there, we would have not been here where I'm at now, because, he was living with his mother and he's still living with his mother 20 years later. So
Oh, okay.
So, Reggie was about growth. He was about, doing things and stuff. So, I mean, he actually motivates me a lot to move around and to do things and stuff. And he just jumps out on faith on a lot of things, like for this house. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we weren't thinking about a house, but it just fell in our laps, when we go to get a car. Oh, let's just go look. Next, we're driving out because he has faith and stuff. And that was something that, I really, really, really appreciated him and stuff. And he definitely puts God first in his life and stuff. And that was definitely a plus, because I had never had that in other relationships. That there was no other relationship that I was in that they were open to go to church and stuff. So Reggie actually joined church with me when I came out here, and I actually joined the men's choir.
Okay.
So yeah, it was definitely, I look back and say, thank God that I made the right choice.
Yeah, I had those thoughts sometimes too. Like, I'm so glad
Yeah,
I decided to grow. Because
right.
I mean, that's what happens. You end up having to make the decision, okay, am I going to stay in this place where I'm dealing with these raggedy, no good, whatever guys, or am I going to level up
Right.
and get with the person that God has for me? So, I mean, that's a decision that I don't think a lot of people really think about and decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I think because of fear, they don't step out when it comes to relationships. And I mean, even for me, I almost let fear stop me from getting married to Tariq.
Really?
Because, when we told our story, I was, he asked me, well, why, I think he said, like, why were you scared or something, like, because I was not used to somebody like him. And
Yeah.
it was not off-putting, but because of what I was used to, it was kind of like, I don't know, do I deserve this? Should I go ahead with it? Like,
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Like I said, it wasn't until that letter and that charge that I felt, and it was just like an electric charge. That's the only way that I could best explain it, in church. And then that's when I'm like, okay, God is like, smack me upside the head. Girl, what's wrong with you? This man is here. He's telling you, pouring his heart out. He wants you and stuff, and he's willing to, like you said, take you as well as your children and stuff, which was, a plus, because sometimes men don't want to be bothered with you if you have children and stuff.
Yeah. What was the length of time between the letter and y'all going to church? How long was that before you went to church?
Maybe a month or so. Maybe within that month. It wasn't after. So the letter might have did the igniting. Then when I got the church explosion.
Because I'm like, if he wrote down all his feelings in that letter, how could you not?
Yeah, was like, I don't know. I guess I still had the other guy was still in the background just in case, and I really wasn't right. I really wasn't ready to say no, although I knew he wasn't good for me anyway. But I was just like, okay. But I finally succumbed, and I'm so glad that I did. And like I said, like you also said, he actually picks up with the family. He's more engaging with our family sometimes than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never forget. There was one Thanksgiving, and he was scheduled to cook dinner in Baltimore. And I had a mishap, and I had to go in the hospital. And I was going to be in the hospital for Thanksgiving. And so everybody was like, oh, what's going to happen with Thanksgiving dinner? You're not going to be there. So I told him, I said, listen, Todd was going to be here because I think he couldn't leave for work, and his girlfriend at the time, now wife. And I said, you go ahead. I never forget, Melba called me and was like, Val, we wish you well, but thanks for letting Reggie come. So I think my family, our family is more into Reggie as well, which is a plus and stuff. So they'll call him sometime and won't even call me. So
Lord.
Yeah. So I'm glad that he actually just blended in, just like he's one of us.
Reggie is very inviting. I remember, well, it's not the first time I met y'all, but as an adult, the first time I went to the cookout that you guys had, your annual cookout, and I hadn't seen y'all since I was little. So it was like meeting you for the first time all over again. But both of you were so open and loving. And I know because you already knew me, but sometimes it's a little awkward when you are around new family, but I didn't feel like that at all. Like, you guys were very welcoming and loving. And Reggie, he was just like on a whole different vibe. Like, I don't know how to a good vibe, but he was just like, he's a people's person. I guess that's the best way to describe it. He's a people's person, and you really feel like he pays attention to you when he talks to you. So that's a really great trait to have, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely, and it was so funny that you say that, because both our personalities are pretty similar. So when we moved where we moved, we're the nucleus that got various neighbors together.
Oh, wow.
We're the neighbors that had lived here for like 20 some years and had never actually talked to a neighbor, let's say across the street. But when we came and, we would say, hey, come on over, this one and that one. Then now they all speak and stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad that we have that we're alike in that way and stuff. So yeah. And I'm glad that he loves to cook. So
yes, Reggie is a great cook.
So thank you that he loves to cook, so I can sit back and I'll do the dishes. But I do tell sometimes, that's another thing that's good about us. If I'm cooking, he'll do the dishes, or if he's cooking, I'll do the dishes. So we always work hand in hand with each other. It's not just one person a burden, or doing just too much of everything. So we work together. That's good for us and stuff.
That is good. So all right, so you were together. How long were you together before you got married?
I can't even remember. Let's just say, I can't even remember. Maybe 2 years, let's just say 2 years before we got actually married.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe 2 years.
So you guys been together like 20 years then.
Yeah, but then I've known him since I was 13.
Since you were 13. And I'm piecing it together, because this is the first time I'm ever hearing your story, you guys' story. So I'm piecing it together, and I'm just like, okay, like, you guys, the way you're telling it, you guys were just really nonchalant about stuff like getting married. And it's really funny, because I guess it's kind of like, maybe you guys, were like, okay, well, we're together, let's just, we done did this, and we're going to go ahead with this relationship because we know this is it.
Right. And I think,
you felt the spark at church. It was it.
Right. And then what it was too, we had both had separate big weddings. Like, I had a huge wedding, spent thousands of dollars, and he the same thing. And we're like, that didn't last. So,
right.
So not that we were saying that this is not gonna last. We were like, we don't need to do that again. Let's just keep it simple. You marry, we marry each other. We're here. We love each other, and that's all that matters.
And that's good, because sometimes people, like today, people will spend millions on weddings and then only end up being married for 2 days.
Yeah, so. I've heard those stories. Definitely heard those stories, and and weddings are not cheap. And so, and not that we didn't have money. I think at this point in our lives, we didn't think it was necessary.
Right.
And stuff,
because you guys already made that commitment to each other.
Right.
So
right.
Understand.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm enjoying being here, and the dog thinks I'm supposed to play because I'm in this room trying to get her quiet. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You wanna talk about it? What's the dog's name?
Coco.
Coco, you want to talk about it? You want to talk about your mom and dad's relationship?
Yeah, I guess she does. But yeah, I'm just so like when you really having me like reflect back, and I'm like, oh, excuse me, I think I better move her out of here. But I don't want to move. I don't want to go into technical difficulties here.
Okay.
I was going to move her out, but I think I might disconnect you, so I'm not gonna move her out.
Okay.
But hope she quiets down. I mean, you definitely understand. It's just like I have a child here with me.
Yeah, I know.
So I apologize.
No, it's fine.
But every year for anniversaries, we said we're gonna do it big. And we just go, okay. But now with COVID, we definitely can't.
Yeah.
But one of the years, maybe for our 20th, we'll decide to have a big blowout of something, maybe a barbecue party, something that we would do so everybody could come together and stuff.
That'll be fun.
Yes, it definitely.
So let's see.
What else you got for me?
I'm trying to think what else I got for you. So I mean, it's really great when two people who are very similar can get together and work things out and work as if, I guess, as if you're one person. I think that's a really good thing to have in relationships, because I mean, now sometimes that for certain relationships that can be a little nerve-wracking, but if you know how to work together and work it out, and everybody understands what it is that the other person needs, that is a great trait to have in a relationship. It's a great trait to have, to be similar. And I know a lot of times I'll preach about make sure you maintain your individuality, and I still feel like that. But if you know how to maintain your individuality and still be similar and still know how to work together, that's a blessing.
Now again, you have me like really thinking back on different things. And when you say, relationship and we working together and knowing each other, I never forget, this was before marriage. We were dating, and we had gone to the Poconos and had different things for couples. And they called us up on the day. It was like a newlywed game. Okay. And we knew each other so well. Every question we got right. And we were crowned the king and queen of the Pocono, Cove Haven. Well, that's what it was. Okay. We were crowned the king and the queen. And they were like, y'all not married? Y'all know it? So what? Because literally, like, if we remember the newlywed game, you have to go, and they have to come back and your answers have to match. And every one, our answers matched.
Wow.
So that's just it. Now looking back, I'm like, okay, we were definitely meant to be together.
I might do a day on the show where I get some couples together and we do the newlywed game or something similar to that. So I might reach out to y'all.
Yeah, y'all want to participate. Yeah, if it would, if it's fun and stuff, and that's how you really get to see what the other side is really thinking. Because I've seen couples and they've been looking at each other like, "What? You don't know that?" yeah, but no, it was good. It was really good, and it was so funny because we got to walk around that whole weekend with a tiara, and he had the crown. And
really?
Yeah, it was cute because everybody had to stop, who was there, and they had to all go hail to the king and queen.
Really?
Yeah, it was so cute. We would laugh. We laughed. Anytime we walked in the room, they'd stop, hail to the king and queen for that whole weekend. For that whole weekend.
That's so crazy.
It was cute. That was something that, if you want to do, that would be cute as well.
That would be cool. Okay. Well, let me see. It's 4:30. Let's look at some of these questions because we got some questions. Aunt Linda and my mother said hi.
Hey.
And hi, Miss Alfreda. Miss Alfreda said good afternoon. Aunt Linda said, yes, you know when it's time to go. I think it was something that you said earlier.
Yeah, about leaving the.
Yes. My mom said, oh, what a cute picture of love behind you.
Thank you.
And she said, Reggie loves the party. And Linda said, electric in church, but God. 18 years, wonderful. Um, my mom said y'all would have been living with his mother, talking about the guy that was still living with his mom.
She's right. She's right. Like I said, to this day, he's still living with his mother. Like, I mean, I understand sometimes you have to take care of your mother, but his mother is nothing wrong with her. So it's not like he's staying there because she's ill and he has to take care of her. He's just still there.
I have nothing to say. Let's see. My mom said you guys belong together. And Aunt Linda said, yes, Reggie can cook. And Aunt Colleen said hi to us, and she said, much love. All right, so Mom, I don't know if this is for us or not, but I'm gonna read it. My mom said, how is it with taking care of your mom?
It's rough. However, he does chip in. He does as if it was, he treats her as if it is her mother. For those of you who don't know, my mother, I had to move her in with me because she was diagnosed with mild dementia. She has non-essential tremors, and she has a gamut of other medical issues. So I had to move her in with me. And that's a good point, because some men would resent the fact that you have to move your mother-in-law into your home. He was very welcoming. He actually makes sure that she eats, he's on her. Did you take your medicine? And again, like I said, it is as if it is his own mother. And so that's another blessing that I have. And then, like, sometimes she'll get sad and, say, she wants to go back home. And he's like, forget it. This is your new home. You're with us now. You're going to stay with us. So that's another, plus in him. So I got a lot of plus categories for him. So that's good.
Yes, you do. You do. I'm not even going to say, well, what's the negatives? What's the negatives? But no, Reggie is a good guy.
Only snoring. The only negative is his snoring.
Oh, you got one of those too?
To be, but yeah, there's many a nights that I wanted to just knock him out the bed.
I know the feeling. Sorry, honey, but I do.
Yes.
Tonight, looking forward to 18 years. Okay, I think Aunt Colleen was saying she's looking forward to 18 years too.
Oh, you get there, cuz.
Yes, she will. Okay. Uncle David said,
I was just David. Say that.
Uncle David said, he said Sparks, and he said Reggie has good cigars.
And now
and he said, who has the last say in things?
I think he gives in to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he does.
Does it take a while?
No, because he's not one, like, he won't want to fuss or argue. So he'll tell me, okay, you got it. Like, I'm one, sometimes it's, challenging. And then he'll say, listen, forget it. You got it. You go ahead. Yeah, it's you. So, yeah.
Ida, she said, you guys have a beautiful story. And hey, Yancine. So my friend Yancine said, this is good and funny. Your cousin's story reminds me of my late wife and our story. We would have been celebrating 17 years on the 8th of this month.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hope you're keeping your head up, Yancey.
Yes.
Uncle David said, "Yep." I think he was saying.
Yeah, he
I think
agrees.
that's his response to the you getting the last word.
As David would say,
But
sometimes bossy.
what did he say on their episode? He said, "Guys, just say yes, dear." I think that's what he said.
And happy life, happy wife, something like that. Goes
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yes.
So let's see. You know, we still have a lot of time.
Ah,
And,
I wish he was
and
working upstairs and he could have popped up here, but he's working downstairs.
it's okay. So, you know, I need to get some more out of you because you gave us your story, but that story was really short. It was quick.
Ah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's my job now. It's time for me to kick in the gear. So, um, what I mean, you said when you guys were younger, because if y'all got together when you were 13, that would have been like a lifetime
Yes, yes. What
together.
I said I didn't like because they were all 7 boys, very
Right.
very obnoxious, and it was so bad that they would have fires in their apartment. Thank God nobody would get hurt. But I never forget housing had said, because we lived in New York City public housing, they had said, one more fire and you're out. And I never forget, it was a few of us out there, fire, fire. Like we were like wishing that something else would happen. Most of the time, it'd be like a grease fire or something, nothing that nobody got hurt. But when they had
Okay.
one more time, we were like, yay, they'll be gone. But thank God it didn't happen. Nobody else got hurt, and they stayed there. And his aunt passed on, but a few of his cousins are still there now to this day.
Really? In the
Mm-hmm.
same apartment?
Mm-hmm. Yep, in the same
Wow.
in the same apartment and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. Daddy liked him. You know, my father's now deceased, and he liked him, and it was like he was like the son that he never had. So he really took time with Daddy, and would drive him around, and Daddy had a little garden when we first moved here, so he would do a lot of things with Dad too. So that there's always a plus when your family, especially your parents, like who you've chosen and stuff, because my past relationships weren't always the greatest with them.
Yes, and I could say the same thing because yeah, I had some questionable things happen, and my mom, she used to be like, can you please get it
Mm-hmm,
together.
mm-hmm,
And it's a great feeling when your family finally likes somebody that you're with and they're okay with you marrying that person. That's a great feeling when that happens.
right, because
And I
there's
go
somebody from
ahead.
the looking in. So if they see good qualities, from the outside, then it's okay.
Right. Okay, so this just brought another question to my mind. When you guys, when you were still not sold on Reggie, when you guys, were starting to see each other, was Aunt Dot like, okay, well, I think he's a really good guy, or like, were they saying anything?
No, because I was living on my own, so
Okay.
he didn't really know my goings and comings of who I had, who I was with
Okay.
at that time. So I kind of kept that until I was ready for him. But initially, when she found out, she was like, "That's Summer's boy. Oh, one of them." Initially, that's what she said, and then when she got to see Reggie now as an adult, because she's going on again, that young boy who was
Mm-hmm.
there, with the hoodlum cousins and they're running wild, she was basing her statement on that Reggie. She hadn't seen the grown up, mature Reggie. So once she
Okay.
saw, she was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, was definitely thinking of the other Reggie and stuff. So yeah,
Right.
he
I
grew.
can see that. Uncle David said, "What's it like being grandma?"
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because they can come. They can come and then they can go. They'll be here. As a matter of fact, in another hour, one will be here and the other one will be right behind them. So I love being a grandma. It keeps me busy. They're new and exciting things that they're learning now, and the conversations that especially the older one has with me is like a trip. Like he said to me, I came from somewhere, and it was a windy day, and I came back and Yaya, what happened to your hair? Windy outside. I had to get a comb and make sure I comb my hair. So, at this age, they look at different things that you do and stuff. Oops, I thought I dropped on the phone. Yeah, so it's fun and exciting. Like I said, David, it's good that you could take them and send them back home when you're tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. My mom said, "What's your advice for married couples?"
Keep it, what's the word I want to look for? Keep it vibrant, keep it going, tell each other that you love each other. It's okay to every now and then walk past your mate, give them a kiss or a hug, and, keep that with the same way you got them. Try to keep that same way so that they still stay there. That's so like I tell Reggie sometimes when he doesn't feel like cooking, I'm like, hey, it's how you got me, Spark, wait, how you got me 20 pounds ago.
Listen, yo, that sound familiar, right? That
Yeah.
what I told her that before. You gotta keep doing what you did to get them. What you did to hook them, you need to keep them on the hook.
Yeah. Keep it fun, keep it exciting and stuff.
Yes.
Don't be mundane.
Let's see.
Stuck. Don't be stuck. Sometimes, date each other. That's what, something that we, before the pandemic, we were doing, going out once a month on a date. Like, like we would do when we weren't married and stuff. Let's still do some of those fun things together.
That's right, y'all. I tried to told y'all. Now somebody else telling you.
Yeah. Two people telling you it's raining, put up your umbrella.
Right. My mom also asked, I guess she's talking about Reggie's cousins. Do his cousins come to the cookout?
Yes, she has seen them before. One of them she's passed on, but I don't know if she remembers the one we would laugh at that's always packing up piles of food to go home.
Do you remember it? Remember her, mommy?
That night, but she's passed away now. But yes, they did come quite frequently, and anytime that the ones that are still living, anytime that we have anything, yeah, they try to come.
Okay.
Which is good. He's not as close. He's not as close. He's close with his family, but not as close as our side of the family.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
All right. So I have another question that just came up for me. You have 2 children who are now married.
Yes.
How much influence do you think your marriage had on them?
My marriage now? My marriage
yes. Yes. This one we talk about.
I think it set a strong foundation for them to see what a married couple, how we act, how we interact with each other, what we do to support each other. So I think that they've taken that in their current marriages, that they, because I see Todd and I see him with his wife Shamika, and he steps up and they do things together and they work together, and Brandy and Jonathan the same way. Yeah. So I think that we laid a good foundation for them.
That's good. I don't think I've seen. No, I did see Todd and his wife together at the family reunion, but I can remember seeing Brandy and Jonathan dancing.
Yeah.
At what was it? The
family reunion.
At the family reunion. I'm trying to remember what night it was when we were all dressed up. I can't think of the word.
The banquet.
Thank you. at the end of the banquet, and he was the DJ, and he stopped DJing for a moment so he could dance with Brandy, and I thought that was the cutest thing. It was
Yeah,
so sweet.
he didn't want to be
So
left out. He didn't want to be left out.
right.
It's like, hey, everybody, well, you said lovers and couples. Wait a minute, I'm one. So that, yeah, that
I
was
thought that was the cutest thing. I was like, oh, while I was dancing with Tariq. Oh, but I think that you guys, from the story that you shared with us today, I think that you guys have had a wonderful, from what you said. I don't know all the particulars and everything of your marriage, but you guys seem like you've had a wonderful marriage, and you have a lot of aspects that people can learn from
mm,
in your marriage. And I think that's why you were able to set a strong foundation for your children, for when they went off and got married, and how they chose their mates.
mm-hmm.
And I really commend you guys for that.
Oh, thank you so
That's
much. Thank
awesome.
you so much. I definitely appreciate that.
No problem. You guys, if you have any closing questions or comments, go ahead and send them in now. Uncle David said, "Who's your favorite cousin?"
Oh, let me see. David. I love all my cousins equally. I have no one favorite. David.
There you go.
But if you want to claim it, David, you can have it.
Uncle David is a trip. Anything else? You guys have anything else you want to say? My mom says, "See you at the next party."
Yeah, we were thinking this summer, but we'll see. We'll see. See how it goes with
We
COVID.
have to be there. We're gonna have to try to get and be there with y'all, because we need to get together again.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
When I
trying to see whether it's not this year. Next year I'll be 60, so I might want to do something next year. I don't know. I'll see. We'll figure it
you
out.
gotta do something when you turn 60.
Yeah, we'll see. It's work. It's work, but we'll see. That Reggie's already
Okay.
wheels is already turning in the back of his head, like, oh, yeah, you'll be 60. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll pump your brakes. Let's see.
Okay, y'all. You have any closing remarks for us, cousin Valerie?
I
Anything
just want
last
to
things you want to say?
say one important thing. When you and your mate go through problems, keep everybody else out of those problems. Let you try to work them out amongst yourselves, because everybody who gives you advice is not always going to give you good or the right advice. So that's just something,
Yeah.
tidbit I just want to put out there. And I want to say congratulations to you, Ashley, on this wonderful show. And, I hope your audience grows and grows, where you really blow up, because you are definitely a blessing to me and to many others that listen to you. And I love you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
I love you too. Thank you. Oh, you don't make me cry on my show. Aunt Colleen says, so far looking good for August, because I think that's when she's having her, is it your reception you're going to do in August, Aunt Colleen?
This August?
And get your party shoes. Yeah, this August.
Okay. All right. So she just got to shoot me.
Get your party shoes.
Okay. Tell her just shoot me the information.
All right. You heard her. Send her the information, Aunt Coco. All right, y'all. So I want to say again, do not forget August. I'm saying August, October 8th through the 10th this year. Come on down to Atlanta, Georgia, and party and learn and have some fun with me and my husband. I am dedicating myself to you guys that weekend. So this is the first annual All In for Love Couples Getaway. Okay. I have the information floating around on social media. So you can, I'll put the link in here actually too. I'll put it in this description too. So you can sign up Okay, it's not expensive. I'm trying my best to keep it at a decent price, and it's priced per couple. 155 is the registration fee, and registration is closing on April 12th. Y'all got 11 days. So come on and sign up. If you know people, other couples, tell them about it, let them sign up, and y'all come on down and learn something and reconnect. That's what it's going to be about. Okay. Again, it's October 8th through the 10th of 2021. Okay, guys. And also get your merchandise. Like I told you in the beginning of the show, go to the site. It's ashleyj.com. Get your merchandise. Okay. It's waiting for you to purchase so you could wear it during the next episode. Come on, y'all. And then be drinking out your mugs. Okay. You got your mugs and you do it. Okay. Okay. So there's only one thing left for me to say. And that's what is your love experience. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching, and make sure you tune in next week. We'll have another great episode. Okay. Thank you, guys.